everybody. My name is John Wayne. No, I'm Frankie Avalon.
That was pretty good. And I'm Ryan O'Quinn.
And we have a guest.
We do have a guest today.
Yes, a man who has had many, many, many wonderful successes, and we're going to find out exactly what they were.
I have to say, under duress, he's in this chair, because typically he's on the other side of the glass, and he is a guitarist, a keyboardist, a programmer, a producer, an engineer, a musician, a songwriter, a lot of things.
Is that
music.
all you do?
I mean, what?
My goodness.
Give it up for Ty Stevens, everybody.
Yeah.
Ty Stevens.
Hi.
Thank you.
All
Ty,
right, welcome.
I have to say, Ty works alongside us at this podcast. Much of the time, Frankie, he's over there pushing buttons and making you and I sound good.
Right.
And trying to make me look good.
Yeah.
Tall order, by the way. But I have known Ty for several years. Full disclosure, our kids are friends. Our boys went to school together. In elementary school, they played baseball together. Your son, we'll get into this, your son is still an incredible baseball player. You run all over the country chasing that little guy around playing baseball. So that's another career we need to watch, although he's only about 14 years old. He's going to be on the bump in the majors one of these days. Mark my words. But in addition to that, outside of just being an amazing elementary school dad, which is how Ty and I knew each other, I found out what an incredible background you have in the music business, sir. And to make you just slightly more nervous, you're sitting at a table with Frankie Avalon.
He says, who?
What?
No, I'm Frankie Avalon. Yeah. You're a little too young, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, yeah. Now, come on.
What's it like to sit at a table with Frankie Avalon, Ty?
Speechless.
So that's good. I like that.
Yes.
That's why you can't say anything bad about me. That's it.
Well, we've talked about this. No. I ran into you at a
with
pizza.
Car. It was a car.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
No, at the where?
At Winner's Pizza.
Yes.
Your son was filming you.
Right.
And you were wearing the white suit.
Right.
From Beauty School Dropout. Right.
No graduation day for you.
And I had my son with me. And I was like, oh my God, Phoenix, this is Frankie Avalon. He said,
who?
No. He's like, I love Frankie Avalon. And I went up to you and I said, I'm a big fan. And Phoenix, would you please introduce yourself to Frankie? And he did, and you were so kind. And so I went from being a complete fan to being like, oh my God, and he's the nicest person on the planet.
Well, thank you, Ty.
Yeah.
And your little boy was sweet and Phoenix, right?
Yep.
And he's a good ball player, huh?
He is a good ball player.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said you take him around. Is he playing in different games, or how does that work?
Well, out here in the land of Westlake, Agoura, Thousand Oaks, Calabasas,
right.
I think it's in the contract, if your kid doesn't play ball, they can ask you to move out.
Really? Well, now, wait a minute, Ty. That's very interesting. The area that we're talking about, Westlake High School, they have delivered how many baseball players that are in the majors?
I don't know the exact number, but it is a lot. And I think is it DeLuca from Agoura Hills?
Oh, yeah.
It's the last one. Yeah.
That's in the
Christian
area
Yelich
here.
went to Westlake High. Oaks Christian has delivered a bunch.
See, that's
a couple seasons ago, Asher and I went to the Dodgers game, and Christian Yelich from the Mariners and Phil Bickford from the Dodgers. Phil Bickford was on the mound pitching to Yelich, and they had played against each other as high schools, rival high schools here.
Really? Yeah.
So, but you're right that this area has spawned an inordinate number of incredible baseball players.
Yeah.
And now you're in the thick of it, buddy.
And Phoenix is what, 14 years old now?
He'll be 14 in December. Yeah. But he's playing 14.
Is he a big boy?
No. Oddly, I mean, he's average, but there's something about this game that promotes horses. I mean, seriously, like the guys on his team, they all look like stallions.
Yeah,
and they run like stallions.
Oh, I know. the body's six pack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I always had a 12-pack. I make sure to double it. No,
I had a
can.
can.
You had a can. You had the can. All right.
Well, Ty has been around the music industry for a long time. First of all, let's talk about your name. And I know the answer to this, but I want you to fill in, Frankie, and our audience about your name, both your given name and your birth certificate name. I know you as Ty, but go on.
So, my parents, sort of hippies,
Okay.
and they thought, let's get to know this young man before we name him. So I went around for a while without a name because
Really?
they wanted to get to know me.
Yeah, you can't just assign a
Well,
name
that's
at birth.
interesting.
Who would do
yeah,
that?
Right. And then,
How long did that take now?
from my understanding, I think it was 8 or 9 days.
Okay, so they got to know you in 8 or 9 days.
Baby
Makes
boy
sense.
Stevens in the meantime, I
Right.
guess.
That's
yeah.
exactly right. And then they named me technically Tyrone because it's a town in Ireland.
Oh,
But after Tyrone Power.
right.
Sure.
The actor.
Right. Now, cut to about 26 years later, I'm going to Italy for the first time ever leaving the country. My mom has had my birth certificate my whole life. I've never seen it, but I needed it for a passport.
Sure.
She hands it to me, and I mean like that. Sorry if that was loud. She handed it to me, and within a second, I looked at her and I said, "Really?" And she said, "What?" And I said, "Try one? Try one." They had transposed the letters, and no one proofread my birth certificate.
So his name is Tryone.
Yeah, try
Try
one.
one.
Yeah,
And you have to live with that
yeah,
for the rest of your life.
yeah.
And say, you pass your passport, people go, try one? Is that your name? Do they do that?
Well, now I was hoping that it would sort of sneak through the way that it
Yeah.
did with everything else.
For the
like-
first 26 years.
Right, exactly. So I walk up and I'm like, and this woman was so sharp. She goes, "I see they made a mistake on your birth certificate." And I said, "Yeah, they did." And I said, "But you could see," and I, breaking out cards and driver's license and Social Security. I'm like, "Look, it's Tyrone." And she goes, "I get it. You're going to have to sign it both ways, and hopefully they push it through."
And
They did.
Yeah.
They gave me Tyrone. I don't know that they would do it now.
let me give you a perfect example of that story that relates to me. When this new deal comes out, the real license, the real
Oh, the real ID.
identification,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, just recently, yeah.
My birth name is Frank Avalone, Avallone. My stage name is Frankie Avalon, right? On my driver's license, it says Frankie Avalon. When the new ID had to be done, I had to get my birth certificate Avalone. It's become such a problem for me, I swear to you, that when I have now if I go to the airport, it's not Frankie Avalon.
You have to
Really?
use birth
Frank
certificate.
Avalone.
Really?
Absolutely. And to this day, I have more problems with look, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. This is my license, and this is my real name of Avalone.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got two, Frankie Avalon and Frank Avalone identifications. When I travel, I got to show Avalone. And they go to me, "You look like Frankie Avalon." I said, "I am Frankie Avalon." I have to show them my So I understand exactly, yeah.
My
Isn't that
problem
something, though?
on the name front
That's
is
so
my surname, as you know, has an apostrophe. O apostrophe.
Right.
Quinin. For my entire life, depending on the computer system, some hotels love it, some hotels hate it. Sometimes it's O space Quinn.
Right.
It just all depends. So depending on where it is and what I'm doing, I have to do it different ways. I have to leave a space, have to leave it out. So I'm passing down to my son. I'm like, son, we're multiple generations of this. The only time I didn't have problems was in Ireland, when we travel in Ireland, of course, where most of the country, 40% of the country has an apostrophe in their name somewhere.
Right.
So the only, and most of the time, by the way, when I check into hotels in this country, well, not most of the time, but much of the time, when I say my name, woke up, you check in, hey, I'm Ryan O'Quinn, checking in. My first name is Tivis, by the way, Tivis, whole different story.
No way.
Yeah, you didn't know this?
No.
Yeah. So that was my dad's name. My mom decided early on that she didn't want to get it confused in the household, so I went by my middle name. My dad was Tivis
great.
Lee. I was Tivis Ryan, but I've always gone by Ryan. But I will say, just checking in, O'Quinn, and much of the time, the person on the other side of the hotel desk will say O-A-K-W. And I say, no. O'Quinn, O apostrophe Q-U-I-N-N. And then much of the time it's followed by O. And I'll lean over and show them where the apostrophe is on the thing. But in Ireland, they're used to that because they hit the,
Right.
they've rubbed that apostrophe ragged. They
Right,
hit it all the
right.
time. The only time that I've ever gotten a question is in Dublin, and it was one time, and the only thing she said to me was, 1 N or 2? I said, oh, 2 N's. She's like,
Yeah.
it was easy.
So we have our stories
Our
about
name
our
stories.
IDs,
So try
yeah.
one.
Yes, sir.
Now that you're here.
Try one, yeah.
Let's go all the way back.
Okay.
All the way back. Tell us where you're from and what in the world got you into this crazy business of music.
Born and raised Hollywood, California.
Really, you're one of the natives.
Yeah.
There's like 7 of you original people,
That's it.
right?
That-
I think
it's-
everybody else is transplant,
right.
And I don't-
including Frankie.
No, that's right.
He's from Philly.
And I don't want to get off on a tangent, but when you meet people and they say, oh, you live in Hollywood, oh, there's a lot of fake people in Hollywood. And you're like, most of Hollywood is transplants. So
Right.
take it easy on our city,
Yeah.
But I was born at the Hollywood Presbyterian. That's how Hollywood.
You are so Hollywood.
I'm so Hollywood. But I went to school with Slash.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, was this at Hollywood High or is this, which still exists?
Junior
I think?
high.
Okay.
Bancroft. And then he went, and so did I, to Fairfax High.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is Red Hot Chili Peppers. Why did I? Emphasis on the wrong syllable. The Red Hot Chili Peppers, Slash. There was a kid from Warrant that went there.
Yeah.
Really good keyboard player friend of mine, Rami Jaffe, who played with the Wallflowers,
Sure.
Jacob Dylan's band, and plays with the Foo Fighters now. And Jason Nesmith, son of Michael Nesmith. I mean, that place is just between actors and musicians.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Talent school,
Central.
huh?
So basically, I got into music from sort of a backdoor psychological Freudian way. I was acting.
Oh, I've known you for years,
Yes.
and I am now going to use this, but go on.
Right. And now I'm actually shocked that you're shocked. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah, you've got it, trust me.
Right, so for me, it was all about getting in front of girls. And then once I got into high school in Hollywood, it was like, oh, dude, really? You're doing acting? You're in drama? Like,
You're in
So
Hollywood.
that wasn't
Yeah.
really
And just
accepted
another
by the-
actor, right?
Yeah.
and everybody was like, oh, that's not that cool. And I was like, oh, no. So I dropped out of that, but thinking I still have to figure out a way to get in front of girls, I thought, I'll do music. At 17 years old.
He had a plan. The guy had a plan.
Right. But there's all these kids that can play like Eruption on the spot and do their thing. And I'm this kid that's just starting, trying to serenade to somebody going, wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. I was terrible, but I studied really hard to catch up very quickly. And so it started because of wanting to get in front of girls. And then we got a deal with A&M, a bunch of buddies and I, with a group called Sound Mind.
Okay.
And Jimmy Iovine Do you know Jimmy?
No.
Jimmy Iovine started Interscope Records.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
and
Oh, didn't he the ear? Is that the guy with the headphones?
Oh, you're thinking of Beats, Dr. Dre.
Beat?
well, yeah. Dr. Dre was his.
Oh God!
Yeah, they're
the guy's a
together.
billionaire now.
Forget it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was an A&R guy
There you go.
at A&M way back in the day, and he signed us, and it happens. We ended up getting dropped, and then I started doing the basically the gunslinger thing of who needs a backing guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
So
when
at this point, you had studied. You mentioned studying, but you had worked hard.
Yeah.
And had really honed the craft, and now you're available to.
So
fill
now
in.
you're a studio man. You're a studio player.
I started doing some studio mid-20s, but I wasn't like the level of the guys that I looked up to, the Steve Lukethers and all
Tommy
those.
Tedesco.
Right. Oh, yeah. We were talking
did
about
a lot
that.
of my sessions.
Right. Yep.
And of course Al Caiola
Right.
did all my early hits. Yeah, Al Caiola. Yeah, a lot of great guitar. My guy was Sonny Troy, who was
And he
my
was with you from
conductor, and he
back
was-
in the day, early on, right?
When I was
Rocco?
a kid, we played in bands together, and he was a wonderful. As a matter of fact, he became the guitarist for the Mike Douglas show.
Oh, wow.
All those years, yeah. He had left me. He wanted to stay back in Philly. Didn't want to travel, so he was well-known guitarist. Another kid from my neighborhood, and you must know the name. And anybody out there, as a matter of fact, I understand that Clint Eastwood wants to do his life story. I'm talking about Martino.
Al?
No.
Martino.
If I can't remember his first name right now, but let me tell you something. When you mention
Guitar player.
You mention this kid to some of the players, older, but
Mhm.
they bow.
Hmm.
And listen to this. In the midst of his career and success as a jazzer and known to musicians, he had a stroke. He had a stroke, couldn't talk, couldn't play anymore. He took time and got it all back again. He learned how to play guitar all over again.
Wow.
And speak and everything. Clint Eastwood, there's a story on him. I mean, this guy was a genius. You talk to guitar players that have been around that know this kid. And he's from South Philly, and Sonny Troy and he were like the two of the best. Yeah.
Frankie talks about, when he was coming up, he learned music. He learned to read music early on. His parents were very supportive, and as he got into trumpet playing, and then finally when he got a shot, I'm telling your story here, Frankie, but you talk about, getting behind the piano and being tasked with reading music on the spot. Did you, first of all, with your hippie parents, were they supportive of this wild endeavor of yours? And did you learn to read music early on, or what happened?
I was more of a theory major, so the understanding of how it all works. I studied bebop. That was my main course of study. And I made a complete conscious decision when I was studying this stuff at Dick Grove School of Music. I don't even know if you remember
Dick
that.
Grove, yeah. One of my kids, two of my kids studied at the Grove Music, yeah.
Right.
But you were a bebop guy, like Chet Baker and
Yeah.
Charlie Parker and
Joe
those
Pass.
guys.
I mean,
yeah.
we can keep going, but
Right.
but the decision that I made was when I graduated, don't play that. And it's because it is so difficult, and to get amazing at that style of music is going to take me the rest of my life. And I grew up poor, so I was like, oh my God, so I thought, go into pop.
Well, speaking of that, and I should have led with this, but I mean, you have worked with Mandy Moore, Alan, AJ, Hilary Duff. Like, you have this whole list of people whose names we know that you have worked with and worked alongside. So pick up there. What was the gap between? Oh, and by the way, were the parents supportive of this? And then how did you get to the Hilary Duffs of the world and Mandy, and and get into those rooms?
My parents were ultra supportive. My mom didn't love the amount of practicing that I did because at first it's
Frankie
hard
also was known to blow a trumpet in paper-thin walls.
Shut that kid up with that horn.
Yeah, and I was a cornet guy when I first started.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
brass.
Yeah. I mean, it's horrible when you first start and to put your parents through something like that. But they were both very, very, very supportive. And the only time I started getting a little older and my father said, "Have you thought about a backup plan?" I was like,
Is there a plan
"Hey,
B?"
that might have been something you taught me when I was growing up.
Right.
Now at 28, you're going to ask me now? No, I don't have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Sorry. So we were basically dropped in for about 5 years. I flailed about, did the...
Still in L.A.?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, Ty. You worked with a lot of these people. What capacity what was the relationship in their business, your business?
It depended. Some I just toured as a guitar player, but as time went on, I started becoming the musical director. I like that role of... it's the same thing that you were talking about. I've watched some of your podcasts, and and you as well, having a sense of, all right, now I have some control of my life or whatever the situation is. And I had been in situations where I was like, I'm not crazy about the way that this whole thing is played out. And so I thought, well, if I ever get to be in that position, I'm going to try to be this kind of human being. So I went into it, and I was able to be like this nice guy, strict, but a nice guy. And I've had to let a ton of people go. But all those people still call me, and we're still friends, because there's no question from where they sit that they go, I messed that one up. That was on me.
Yeah.
They don't look at me like, what a jerk for firing us. It was just like...
You'd be surprised, and Frankie knows this probably better than anybody, but in this business, basic kindness, it seems like is a lost art. And so when you're just genuinely kind to people, and the old golden rule, it goes a long way because people are so unaccustomed.
I'll tell you, you're so right about that. I had, in my career, in my career as a nightclub or theaters or whatever, and live performances, I had a conductor. Was absolutely brilliant. I mean, brilliant. He studied with Oscar Peterson. Now, anybody who studies with Oscar Peterson, you got to be a genius to start with, because he won't take you. He only had a few students, Oscar Peterson. This guy was so good. Piano player, conductor, brilliant writer, wrote a Broadway show. I mean, brilliant. Nobody liked him.
Wow.
He was a reputation. I had to defend him constantly. And I loved his talent. And I would say to him, why are you like that? I don't know. He was, he must have been a savant, what do you call it,
Yeah.
Had that, we would walk into a theater and we'd have our orchestra there. He's conducting for me, right? First thing he would do as guys were taking their instruments out, he'd take that piano thing, put it like this and go, and everybody would stop and listen to this guy play. I mean, he was incredible. No one liked him. I did a special for Dick Clark, and it was a national television, and I had him conduct this whole show. It was a whole show, an hour, to do all the music. By the time we finished that in rehearsals and then it was on the air, whatever, the man who was in charge of Dick Clark's company of musicians wouldn't hire him again.
Wow.
He was so disliked. I did a tour with the Golden Boys, the three, Bobby Rydell, Fabian, and Frankie. And we had these bus tours with these buses and things, like that. And we carried our own 13-piece band on buses. And nobody liked it.
Wow.
Nobody. I couldn't understand, and he couldn't understand why. And he was with me for about a good 15 years. Finally, it just went. But I defended him all the time because I knew he was above everybody as a talent.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm saying this is we're talking about being liked.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't mind staying on that because I tell my son all the time, the please, the thank yous, all these things go so far. Everybody appreciates it so much. You will get so much more love if you just take that time and be kind to somebody.
Kill him with kindness.
That's right.
We had we were doing a movie in New Mexico, and one of our union reps, and he had lived in LA for many, many years, and he was in IATSE. IATSE, by the way, audience is the union for the grips and the below the line grips and electric and as opposed to SAG-AFTRA, which is the actors, and the WGA is the writers, and then DGA is the directors, but the grips have their own union as well. The International Association of Television and Stage something or other. But
catchy.
What's that?
Catchy.
Yes, IATSE, IATSE. But he was the main guy for many years at his chapter in Hollywood. He relocated to New Mexico and was the guy and was in various different departments, including the Teamsters. Nobody crosses the Teamsters. And he was just a tough guy, and he was a hard nut to crack. And at the end of our shoot, we were there for about a month and a half. You include the pre-pro and the ramp up and the build out and all that, a little over 2.5 months, all in. And at the end of our rep party, the final day that we were all there, as everything was starting to break down, he asked if he could speak, and he gave this eloquent, amazing speech. Somebody has it on video, but he basically talked about how he had never been treated so well on a set, and this tough guy, this Teamster union guy,
right,
who just broke down on set, and it was basically that. It was kindness goes a long way. Treat others like you want to be treated. Treat each other with kindness, no matter where you are in the striation of the call sheet. Everybody is valuable and everybody's important, and so we try to go into every production with that mentality in mind, and it goes a long way.
Yeah, that is something that everybody should. Well, some people have a tough time doing it.
Oh yeah,
but some people they never learn. It's like my conductor. He never learned. Never learned. He's been gone now. He passed away, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, people would say, how did you do this for so long? How did you keep getting gigs? And I said, it's the 2.5 hours I'm not on stage. That's what gets me rehired.
The hang.
Yeah.
Yes.
The hang, yeah.
That's exactly
the
it.
hang. You gotta hang out.
If you're fun and you're easy and you're kind, we're in Los Angeles. The number of people that can play guitar, it's like you throw a rock
right,
and hit like 15 of them, So why not choose somebody that you like? You're like, I'd love to go on the road with that guy. He's so much fun.
It is a foxhole, both in music side and the in production, film and television production side. You're in the trenches. Like you're going to spend months sometimes on these bus tours, and you'll spend months with these people. And part of it, especially when it comes to the idea of bringing along and having the capacity to actually hire or cast somebody, you want to be back to back with somebody who's got your back and vice versa.
Right.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
It's tough
All
to do.
right. So now you're going to be playing any place or working with somebody else
in my room. Here's the thing. Being asked to be a part of this, the first thing that I thought was, I can't wait till there's a moment that I get to do something with Frankie. That's where my head went,
Oh, good, yeah.
I mean, I like to be of service and help, and what can I do? But my own selfish thought was like, just it'd be really cool to record something with Frankie.
Well, you know what's really something too? We hit it off, didn't we?
Yeah,
Right
I
away.
think so.
Right away. Yeah.
Well, it's musician talk. We're like, oh,
Right,
yeah, like
right,
there's
yeah.
not going to be any ego. It's
That's
just
right.
we come in and it's like, I'm a fan. You recognize it, but you're not going to sit there and squash me because I'm a fan.
And bottom line,
Yeah.
too, I'm a musician.
Right.
So that's why we
And
relate.
I'm not. I don't.
You're
I
not.
Don't, but I want to just point out too, Ty, that the incredible intro music that you hear, our fun intro song, you put together.
I did.
You
And it's
Gabe
brilliant. It's great.
Great.
And also the closing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that song, by the way, and again, I don't speak the music language, but it really just sort of spawned out of these two, and
Right.
Frankie saying something along the lines of, I wanted to go sort of like that.
Yeah.
And that translated somehow, and Ty got it, and he created that
Right,
intro.
Right. And did a great job. Great job.
Oh,
Very happy with it. Right.
Really, it's easy. You laid it out, and I went, okay. Now I just have to dress it.
But yeah, I laid it out, but then you completed it. I mean,
Yeah,
You
that's-
brought in other musicians to
Right.
play on it. You brought in Gabe and Claire.
I
with
was gonna say,
vocals.
It's
Gabe
called a
and Claire.
combination of thoughts. And
Yeah,
that's it.
I mean that's it, all the pieces.
Yeah. Hey, this podcast and every other thing that any of us have ever worked on, from movies to TV show to albums to whatever, you got to surround yourself with good people. None of us are on an island here. We couldn't do this without all the people. So.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it too. And, from time to time, we're going to be talking to people like Ty.
Yeah.
And, you know who's going to be one of our guests too? Chaz Palminteri.
Oh yeah.
He's got a podcast. I'm going to do
I
his.
love him.
Oh, and what a talent. I mean, first of all, he wrote Bronx Tale. He does it now from time to time, different theaters, a one-man show. I have not seen it yet, but he does the Bronx Tale one. You know how brilliant that is, to be able to put all of those characters together and take an audience into that whole story, one man?
I didn't know he wrote it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And he played the heavy in the Bronx Tale. So good that Robert De Niro directed that film.
Right.
You know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm assuming you've been to his restaurant in Manhattan, Chaz.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
What?
I've been there. Yeah.
No. It's good, huh?
You been there?
It's got to
I
be
have
good.
been there. It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
And by the way, when he's on the show, if there's a world where he's here in person, I think we need to have some good Italian food. I'm just going to say
Yeah,
it right
why
now.
not? Yeah.
Between you and Chaz,
Right.
have some
You know
Italian
how
fare
we
here.
started? He came to see the Golden Boys, Fabian, Bobby Rydell, and myself. I forget where. I think it was in Atlantic City or someplace, one of the casinos. And he came backstage. It was the first time we had met. And we talked about, he was a doo-wop singer.
Really?
Good night, my love. Well, it's time to go. You know, doo-wop.
Yeah.
And that's how he really started. So he knows music, and of course, is a brilliant writer, director. I can't wait to have him.
Yeah. You know, back in the day, you had to be a triple threat to be a star. Frankie Avalon is the ultimate triple threat.
right.
You know, you had to be able to sing, you had to be able to dance, you had to be able to act, you had to do it all, and that's what made a star. I would argue, and you know, this is whatever. In closing, we don't need to open up a whole can of worms, but nowadays we don't really have those rounded artists to that level. Like you have an action star or a rom-com lead. But most of the time, with a handful of exceptions, you don't have somebody who really does all of those super well like we had years ago.
Well, I'm glad you said a handful of different, but there are a lot of these young kids that they are extremely talented. You know, a lot of them come out of doing off-Broadway shows and Broadway and theater where they go to colleges now, and
Sure.
they can sing, they can dance, but they get into what is happening today. But a lot of them, if they got the opportunity, can do what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I'll see somebody that's an actor and done some drama, all of a sudden singing or she's singing, and I go, wow.
You don't expect it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
didn't know they had, yeah.
Or
that's good.
dance, you know. I mean, I know what you mean too. Back in my day, I got to know Dean Martin and did his show. Dated one of his daughters, Claudia. Go pick her up, and he'd come down. But if you look back into the history of what this man's talents were, he was extremely talented. Not only did he have everybody loves somebody, that kind of. But did you ever see him hoof dance?
No.
He danced with the Step Brothers. There's some film out there. You see him hoof. Comedy, straight man, actor.
Yeah.
The films that he did. You talk about a triple threat. Sinatra, another one. Did you ever see Anchors Away?
Right.
With Sinatra dancing with Gene Kelly? Did you ever see an acting? Won an Academy Award? You know? So, yes, those kinds of guys. But I don't think the material is out there for them.
Oh, maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe we just need
that's
good
what it is. Now,
material.
even the live performers today, the hottest ones that play 50,000 people, 100,000, or Vegas, they call sit-downs and this and that. Explosions and things and gowns and things and 5 other dancers doing and they're dancing. You don't know what they're singing, but you're just watching this spectacular thing. The material is different.
Yeah.
Right.
In our day, and I hate to sound like an old fogey, which I am, but in one. And now, here he is, here she is. Bang, you're
Curtains
on.
open, lights come up.
You sing, you talk, you do this, you do that, you do that, in one. And at the end, they stand.
Yep.
Because you performed for them. It's called entertainment. But there's no more material like that. There's no more, but the songs, my God, it's changed so much. And I understand progress. You're a musician. I understand what progress is. But the songs that were love songs, you know, When I Fall in Love, songs like that, I don't know where it is. Everything's frantic and, you know, I don't know. Different generation.
I think the only real opportunity is plays like Broadway or like Hugh Jackman. There's one.
Brilliant talent.
Right?
Hugh Jackman, incredible.
But you're right. It's not. It's very limited. Ariana Grande. I haven't seen her dance, but I like seeing her act.
Sure.
And seeing her sing. I mean, that girl's legit.
I'm telling you, the young kids, they've got it. It's the material.
Right.
There's no more material. And, of course, you have to educate the audience.
Right.
Yeah.
You really do.
Speaking of Broadway, I want to hear your take, Frankie Avalon, on sitting in a Broadway house recently watching Jonathan Groff portray one of your friends.
Oh, my God. What a show. It's called Time After Time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Bobby
something
Darin
like that.
story. Yeah.
And it's a story of Bobby Darin.
Yeah.
And Bobby Darin, for those of you, if you ever really get to look him up or listen to his music or watch him as an actor or performer, he was brilliant. And a friend. We roomed together as young unknowns in New York City. We were roommates at the Century Hotel, and I always say we would live in a small room, so small that the rats were hunchback. You had to go in the hall to change your mind, you know. And, of course, we both hit it together and became friends, and we lived in the same area. And he died at 37 years old, and he was a brilliant guy. But those were performers. He was great.
And Jonathan was great. I mean, you said he channeled him, yeah.
Oh, my God. And the story was intertwined with another friend of mine, Connie Francis.
That's right. Yeah.
And Connie and I started together. That's another story. I mean, I don't want to take the time I want to talk to Ty more and with you because you've had a wonderful career. And in television, 90210 and series and many films, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And worked with a lot of great people.
I did.
I want to ask you, who are some of the people you worked with?
Oh golly! Well, I mentioned recently, working with Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. You said, yeah.
I've worked with Tom Hanks. Apparently, spelling. When we did 90210, they say even though he's, his name's above the title on many of those shows, that he had to approve every single actor, no matter where if they were a co-star or guest star. He had to sign off on them before they were allowed to be on the show at all levels. I did a series called Alias.
About Aaron Spelling.
Yeah.
The Love Boat. He did all those shows and everything. My first film was called Guns of the Timberland with Alan Ladd, written by Aaron Spelling, produced by Aaron Spelling. Yeah. It was his first producing and writing of a screenplay, and he was married to an actress by the name of Carolyn Jones, who played, what was that show? The Monsters kind of a show.
Yes. Was it the Monsters or was it?
Was it the Monsters? I don't know.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, but that was his wife at the time.
Huh.
So I knew him pretty good and did a lot of work with some of his shows.
Did you ever go to his house in Holmby Hills?
No, I never did. No. I ran
I would
into
imagine.
him.
Big one. Big old house, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I think that was the largest, most expensive house
sure.
there was, yeah. He was a nice man, very kind.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about being kind to people, he was.
Speaking of being kind to people and television shows, I did an episode or so of Alias. Remember the ABC series Alias? And J.J. Abrams had a handwritten note in the trailer and a little box of Rocky Mountain chocolates and a little bouquet of flowers, and didn't have to do that. He's at the top of his game, but it was just a handwritten note. And I was a day player. Hey Ryan, thank you so much for being on the show. We're so glad you're here. You bring a lot to this role. Appreciate you, JJ. Look, the little touches.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Go a long way. In closing here, Frankie has mentioned before when he was recording back in the day, there were 2 tracks. 2 total tracks. And again, you're talking to a guy who doesn't know anything about about music. But are there more than 2 tracks these days, Ty?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. I mean, to me, there was a time when I would work on a song and somebody would say, how do you know when you're done? It's like when the computer crashes. Like once I get to like 147 tracks or whatever and it goes,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's when it's over. It's so ridiculous now. We forget the intimacy of just the 2 tracks.
Well, you know what? Interesting for the audience too, and listening. Technology has gone so far now. You don't really have to sing in tune.
Oh yeah.
They have, what's it called?
Auto-tune.
Auto-tune.
Yeah.
Which means if I'm singing a song and I go out of tune or whatever, you don't have to do anything, make it another take, whatever. They do that, fix it. They put you in tune.
Mm-hmm.
What a nice job I have now if I'm out of tune. Where's that guy with
Press
the
the
auto
button.
tune?
We need the guy.
Give me
Ty's
that
one of those button
auto
pressers.
tune. Right.
Ty, you're one of the you're of the generation that I don't want to make you older than you are, but I know some other engineers that knew how to slice tape, like cut tape, but also were the first generation to work off of a computer. My mother was an accountant, CPA, financial planner, and accountant, and she says, when I finally got my big $11,000 IBM green screen computer, I knew much more about it because I had a sharpened pencil, I had an eraser, and I had a ledger. So I knew what the computer was trying to do, and that helped her. As an engineer and producer of music, you probably put things together at analog, but then you were also that first generation.
It's true. I did both, and even when you do a 24 track, there's a specific way that you sort of label things and where you put them on the tape, because oftentimes, like at the edge of the tape was not necessarily the best place to put it, or you'd have SMPTE and you don't want to put it next to the SMPTE. So there was like a rhyme and a reason. And now everybody's forgot that, but I still label everything in a way that makes sense, that if an analog person were to get my tracks, they'd be like, oh yeah, this all makes sense.
This guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So but it was very, I went and the first thing I tried to do was try to make it sound like analog. And at first it was rough, but now it's so much better. You'll hear some of the big guys that have done great albums on analog, and they say, sounds pretty good on CD too.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and it's survive or die in this business. So it's like, computer,
You have to
okay.
adapt, yeah. And there, somebody was telling me recently that software and technology can do just about anything. But nowadays, correct me, but I heard that if you want to record at Abbey Road, and infamously one of the channels at the Abbey Road studio didn't work or worked differently, so when you load that Abbey Road board onto your desktop, that channel also doesn't work. Like you're basically there, and it sounds pretty
Yeah,
close.
I mean, they have it's crazy. They have reverbs that are the rooms of Capitol or the Village or Abbey Road.
Yep.
And you just kind of go, this is what I want on this song.
What it would sound like. Yeah.
It's crazy.
When I recorded Venus, there's the echo a little in the very beginning, and at Bell Sound in New York City. You know where our reverb was, the echo thing? In the bathroom.
That's right.
That's where because it's like a bathroom. Everybody likes to sing in the shower or in the bathroom.
The stairwell's a good one.
Right.
When I was a kid,
Or
I was
hallways.
studying with Jay Speck in South Philly High, and he would tell us about a lot of orchestra that he taught, the Philadelphia Orchestra. And Mario Lanza, who was from our neighborhood, was a student at South Philly High. There were times they would have to go get him out of the bathroom because he would take toilet paper and put it all around and sing La Traviata or some of the operas.
Wow.
That's the echo was there.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So many stories, guys. We could go on all day long,
Yeah.
but we won't take up any more time. Ty or try one. We are so glad you're here.
Try one.
Thank you for asking.
And thanks for all your creativeness and wonderful. It does a
thank
great
you.
job.
We're glad you're part of the team. We want to introduce you, audience, to more members of our team. So we will sprinkle that in periodically. But we're glad Ty was with us.
So
today.
all of you, we're going and we're going to keep going with our podcast. I'm having a great time. It gives me an opportunity to talk with Ryan and talk to Ty and a lot of the guests that we're going to be having on. I'm going to be able to sing some songs for you too, which is going to be fun.
Yes.
And talk to people that a part of my life that we all have, the plumbers, the carpenters, and to see what their life's all about too. So that's going to be coming up soon. So until we meet again, may I say to all of you, if you run into someone who isn't wearing a smile, give him yours. And the whole world smiles with you. Bye.